Yeah.
We have convinced you to play Bioshock Infinite.
Yes. You guys have.
So we've been doing Bioshock Infinite for the WDGR Game Club for the month of April, and
Hmm.
we've got quite a few people playing with us this month. We're going to have a big conversation about the game once everybody's wrapped up with it. And Will, I'm excited that you're playing this, man. So let's talk a little bit about your first impressions of the game, and I'll chime in with mine too. Try to be mindful of spoilers because I want to say I'm a decent amount of the way ahead of you.
Yeah, you probably are. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that it takes a lot of nudging for me to play a game like this, let alone any game that doesn't have my seal of approval.
Mm,
So I'm glad that I started because this game is really, really interesting. It's unlike anything I've ever played before. Um, I don't even know what to say yet because I'm so early in. I've probably only played like 2, 3 hours, if that.
mm,
But what I can say right now, man, is what I have seen. Um, it's like I explained to Joe that it's kind of like being stuck in a weird dream, but a really good dream
mm,
because everything that I've experienced so far is just so bizarre. It's so dreamlike, something that you would only experience in a dream, not in real life.
mm,
And I think it's pretty clear, within the first 2 hours. I mean, I got to one part where I honestly thought that I had passed away because the area was so heaven-like. I was like, man, like
mm.
I don't want to leave here. Like this beautiful, haunting, ethereal music started playing, and I saw these beautiful, like almost like stained glass, sort of art prints all over the area that I was in.
Right.
And it was incredible. And I was like, what am I even playing?
Mm,
And I honestly just sat there for probably at least 15 minutes and just walked around that area. And I don't want to talk about it too much because we're not going into details, but
right.
that impressed me a lot. And sometimes that's all it takes is just one moment in a game, and it can be literally within the first hour that sells me on it, and
Mm,
that sold me on it. And to some people, they're going to be like, well, I mean, it's not that impressive, but to me it was.
right.
And I know it is to a lot of other people because when I looked up that particular song that I heard playing in that area,
Mm,
it's a very impactful moment in the game. And once I got past that area and I got into like the world that I think you're in most of the time,
mm-hmm.
I was like, I just felt like I was at a sort of psychedelic Big E festival. um, Here in the Northeast, everybody knows what the Big E is, but for
Yeah.
folks that are not in this area, the Big E is a giant festival that's held once a year, and it's held in Massachusetts in Springfield. And you basically just go there and you play a bunch of carnival games and you eat really bad food, like giant turkey legs on sticks. And there's some strange characters walking around, and there's historic stuff to look at. And BioShock Infinite, at least what I've experienced so far in this sort of sky village or this sky town, reminded me of that. It's
Mm,
colorful, it's bright. There's some strange characters,
mm,
and I honestly have no idea what's going on, and it's completely okay.
yeah.
And that's generally not a statement that you hear too much when you're experiencing a game for the first time.
Well, they really do throw you into the fire, pretty much in the dark. The game is explained to you as you go along. At least it has been thus far. So you know what you need to know for that moment, and then eventually you'll learn more as it becomes necessary for you to understand what's going on with the plot.
Hmm.
But it's been pretty wild playing it, so far. Like Bioshock 1 and 2 are among my favorite games of all time, and this has been something that's been on my radar for a long time, but just haven't gotten around to it. So this has been a great excuse to finally dive into it, and so far it's been very enjoyable. There are quite a few parts in this game that are going to give you pause. They're going to make you kind of stop in your tracks. And I really don't want to say more than that because I'm curious to see what your reaction will be when you get to those parts.
Hmm.
But this game does tackle some pretty serious issues and ones that are, they resonate strongly in 2021.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
Fair.
And when you encounter them, which you will do so quite early in the game, shoot me a text, let me know.
Yeah, I certainly will, man. I can't tell you how refreshing and liberating it was to sit down and play a game completely blind.
Mm,
It's been a while since I've done that. You know, most games that I've started, I at least knew some backstory and I watched some gameplay trailers and stuff like that. And with Bioshock Infinite, I really have seen very, very little.
mm,
So it felt good, man. It felt good to play something really freaking bizarre
yeah,
and so out of the blue, you know, after everything I've been dealing with the move and just not playing Gravity Rush and just being busy,
right.
to be able to sit down and play a game so fresh with such a clear head,
Mm,
it was really riveting. And I honestly can't wait to play it more, and
yeah,
which is probably going to be this evening.
that's excellent to hear. Um,
Yeah. So for all the folks that worry about me, and you worry about me for good reason, I am here. I am here to the train stops, my friends. So no worries. This game will be beat.
yeah,
And my goal is end of the month. That's my goal.
yeah. I mean, we're as far as the game club is concerned, we're aiming to beat the entire game by the end of the month, and
Hmm.
I'm thinking we should probably hold off doing our group discussion until after your move, just
Yeah,
to
I
kind
think
of
so.
give you some time to get settled and
Hmm.
not stress about it. But I think I've mentioned it on the air before. Discord just came out with this new they call them stages, and I just want to try it, man. I just want to see what it does.
Dude, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to
So
try that. That's so neat.
if people are cool with it, I'm gonna see if we can record the session
That
and
would be cool.
maybe throw it up on our podcast feed.
That sounds really freaking cool.
It would be bare bones because I won't be able to separate the individual voices for editing or anything like that. Unfortunately, I don't know how the quality of the recording would be. I've never done it before,
Mm.
but it shouldn't be
Might be
too.
good organic like that, though.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think it would be too complicated to pull off either.
Yeah,
So
probably not.
you know, but yeah,
But overall, man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this game. I didn't think I would be necessarily. It was on my radar for some time now because I actually have it for PS3. I got it on PS Plus like forever ago. And I think it was Damien that actually sold me on it initially. He was like, "Hey, this is very like Chris Nolan like," and
mm,
that was enough to at least get me somewhat engaged.
mm,
But yeah, I never really went any further with it. It was just kind of sat there, and
mm,
I was like, "Oh, you know, I'll get to this when I get to it."
hmm
But I'm glad that we're doing it now in such
yeah.
an unusual fashion.
And you have the remastered collection too, so that means you have access to Bioshock One and Two. I would
Thanks to
say,
you, I do. Yes, thank you,
yeah,
sir.
hey man, it was on sale. It was a price that couldn't be said no to.
That was a nice surprise, man, because I was really not looking forward to setting up my PS3 with no headphones. I'm like, fuck, man, like
Yeah,
this is gonna be challenging. I mean, I'll do it, but
yeah.
the fact that I can play with headphones now is just, you know, it's a night and day.